It's Two on the Aisle with me, Charles Gross, and Leslie Hoban Blake. Tonight, reviews of F&A, On the Shore of the Wide World, for Peter Pan on her 70th birthday, and the 2017 Broadway Flea Market and Auction. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Two on the Aisle. And good evening, I'm Charles Gross.
And I'm Leslie Hoban Blake, historian of the Drama Desk.
Yes, Leslie is history.
Wow. Do I not come back next week? Is that the idea?
Well,
Maybe.
we'll talk about you.
Okay. My options are up. Go ahead, Charlie.
Yes. Well, maybe we'll auction you off for Broadway
Right.
Cares Equity Fine Age.
Yeah, you get
All
a
right.
lot for me.
We're going to talk about this play. I notice you're in red tonight.
Yeah.
Because we are discussing one of the two red letter plays by Suzanne Laurie Parks. The first of which is, they're both riffs on the Scarlet Letter, which she hadn't even read when she started writing these plays, but she subsequently read and wrote. And this one is called Effing A. It's actually called something else, but we're not going to say that here tonight. Now, my friends, if you thought that the scene in Sweeney Todd, where he mistakenly kills his wife, or he kills a woman not realizing it's his wife, was intense, oh boy, wait till it's a revival. Wait till you see this.
You didn't know it was a revival. You didn't see it before.
Right.
I saw it before.
I can't give it away. All right, well, there's something even more intense.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And that is my problem with this play. This is about, Hester in this case is a woman whose son, when he was a little boy, stole some meat from the rich family they were working for. He was caught by the family's daughter, sent away, and she's been trying to buy his freedom, but since then he's committed more crimes while in jail, and so it's 30 years and she still has not seen him. In the meantime, she had a choice to either open an abortion clinic or go to jail herself, and she chose the latter, which is mostly how she has raised the money. In addition, there is a mayor and his wife who was trying to get pregnant. It's not giving away too much to say that the wife is the very woman who snitched on her son. And they're trying to have it because he's got this delusions of power and he wants to start a dynasty, and they're not doing too well.
Well, there are wheels inside of wheels in this story, so that but you don't learn it all at once. You learn it a little bit at a time.
It comes in.
And the sadness here, I mean, and it has almost nothing to do with. In fact, it has nothing to do with the Scarlet Letter.
The Scarlet
Nothing
Letter.
to do with the original
Except
Scarlet
that she was branded with the letter A, and she must always display that, which shows she is a certified licensed abortion.
And her wound never heals,
person.
so it's always bleeding. And there's a lovely character in here called the Butcher.
Yes.
Of all things, he's the nicest character and the sweetest person in it.
Well, he gives this wonderful, this is Raphael Nash Thompson, who is superb in this play. He gives this rift, he also has a daughter in jail, and he goes on for like 10 minutes listing her crimes. Some are serious, some are ridiculously absurd. I thought that scene went on way,
I thought it was delightful. He got a round of applause when it was over.
Yes, yes. Either both for his performance and the fact that it was over. Although I have to point out that a lot of the audience kept laughing either when long after I felt the joke was done.
Well, I have to say that there are two Broadway stars in this show. One is Christine Lahti, and the other is Mark Kudish.
As Hester Swift.
As Hester. Well, Christine plays Hester, and Mark, the busiest man in show business, I always call him, plays the mayor, does a lovely. They do a lovely job, but everybody does a really good job. And in addition to that, we have I'm looking for his name, Brandon Victor Dixon, who was in Hamilton and also in the Scottsboro Boys, plays the son. And it's a sad story of retribution and vengeance and of biblical proportions, shall we say?
A good way to put it, but I think it's just too much.
Well,
I mean, you know, Suzanne Laurie Parks often, as a matter of fact, the night I saw the show, she was just finishing her gig. She plays at the Signature Theater. She's there with her band, and you can talk to her. She's this very nice woman. But boy, oh boy, does she have a dark side.
Well,
I'm going to call her Dark Susan after this.
You've seen her other work. You've seen Top Dog, Underdog. Of course she has a dark side.
Well, this is really dark. And while I admired the craftsmanship of this play, and I liked the cast, this was just way too much. You won't tell me, you know, about the scenes at the end. You won't let me say that, so I won't. But this is just too dark.
Well, it's Grand Guignol.
It's like, I don't know, I think she may have been inspired by Sweeney Todd because I saw a few similarities, and there's even the whistle, her doorbell sounds like the whistle from Sweeney Todd.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Joe Bonney directed this particular production, and it's filled with music that Suzanne wrote that is kind of Brechtian, if you will, that people stop and make pronouncements in the middle of the show.
Right, and the cast plays the instruments.
Yes, and the cast plays the instruments.
I would call it a play with music.
Well, it is a play, but I mean, they each have a song. I mean, it's more than just a play with music.
Well,
it's not a musical.
I would not call it a musical.
I didn't say that, but it is a play with a lot of music, and each one of them sings. So what would you give this play that you're not happy about having seen?
I would give it 3 playbills, but I would not recommend it.
And I would give it 4.5, and I would recommend it most highly. I remember seeing the first play. The problem is I can't remember who was in it except for Peter Garrity, who played the butcher. And I wish I could remember because it was an arena where you were coming into it as opposed to on a stage where you're looking up at it.
Right.
And being brought into it that way made it so personal, and it was pretty horrible. It was pretty horrible.
Well, this was pretty horrible too.
Horrifying. I don't mean horrible.
And not in a good way.
I don't mean horrible. I meant horrifying.
I think this was just too much. I'm sorry, Darth Suzanne, but this is not a play.
Well,
I would send people to.
I get to talk about On the Shore of the Wide World, which was written by Simon Stevens, who gave us the incredible Curious Case of the Dog in the Night, which was brilliant and done on Broadway, and I kept saying it's not going to run, and it ran, and it won the Tony, so that shows you how much I know. That being said, I was so unhappy watching this play because it's about a family that it's the family legacy of being unable to talk about the lies and secrets that are in all family lives. That's my phone making noise. I'm sorry. We're just going to let it go. I thought I turned it off, and I evidently didn't.
I'm calling Patty Lupone.
Yes, do that. I'm not talking on it. It's just making noise. This is a play with a cast of 10. It takes place in a giant frame of a house. It's directed by, I want to get all these things, Neil Pepe of the Atlantic Theater Company, where it took place. And we're doing 2 off-Broadway shows today. And it's confusing. It's, it borders on boring. And if you remember the Apple plays that Richard Nelson did down at the Public, there's a great similarity in the fact that it's a family talking. But this family talks about nothing. They talk around things. They cannot talk to each other. They cannot actually say something that they, So people die, and they still have not said what they need to say to each other, and that's what the play is about. And it just goes on and on and on and on
for 2.5 hours.
And I was done.
Yeah.
I was done long before that was finished.
I would think so. This is it's 3 generations.
Yeah.
And I think this is how he wrote the play.
How do you mean?
He took a dartboard.
Oh.
And he had this character, that character, and I said, okay, this scene will have this character, and then we'll go to that character. It's like he's got all these ideas, these slips of ideas, these wisps of story, and they just, instead of bothering to develop any of them, he just goes to the next generation.
See, I thought it was just that these
people
people
that at some point it will end. You could have done that. You could have easily gotten rid of one generation and spent the time trying to develop both the characters and the story
but that
of the
wasn't what
other
he was
two
trying to do.
generations.
He was trying, at least I think, he was trying to show how people cannot communicate and how the inability to communicate filters from one generation to the next generation. It's just that it's really boring to watch. It's bad enough to live through.
You got more out of that than I did.
It's difficult enough to live through that. It's horrible to have to sit and watch somebody else try to live through it.
Yes.
So, and the reason I brought this little playbill with me is I went to see another play the day after. It's called For Peter Pan on Her 70th Birthday. It's by a favorite playwright of mine. Her name is Sarah Rule. She does some wonderful things. It stars Kathleen Chalfant, who's a favorite actress of mine. And it's about a woman who played Peter Pan when she was young, and now she's home with her family. They're all together, all the brothers and sisters, 5 siblings, and they're in the house, and their father dies. And he becomes a ghost in the house. He comes right back in after he dies, and they go back to childhood and they actually fly. She puts on a Peter Pan costume and she flies, and they fly the bed, and the two older brothers become, and they forget that they're adults, and then they realize they are adults. And I just had so much of a good time watching this play as opposed to On the Shore of the Wild. It's again, it's a family play. There's so many things you can do with a family play. One of the nice things about family reunions
is that sometimes you can forget to be adults. I remember my brother and I.
This was not a reunion.
I was at my brother's house for
it was a funeral. It was not a reunion.
For a family event, and we ended up, and both adults, both with children of our own. And we ended up, I think, shooting silly string. And my brother's wife was furious, and my mother said, "Cut it out." And I turned to her and I said, "He started," which was true, by the way.
Of course, but the point here is that they're trying to escape. They're trying to escape the pain of the father dying, and the way they do it is to revert to childhood when that isn't a factor.
I can't help thinking Mary Martin would have loved to have done this play.
I'm sure she would.
Especially if she had the opportunity to fly.
And I thought it was nice because we had David on with his book about
Mary Martin.
About Mary Martin. And David Kaufman, I was trying to come up with his name.
His
and
biography,
also, they do a wonderful thing here where one of the brothers comes out and plays Captain Hook. I mean, they're all there. All the characters are there. And it's about how you can't, when you're 70, you're 70. You can't, and yet they fly. Even for that moment, they fly.
But you can still, the nice thing is, you can still hold on to the childhood memories. Yes, you have to grow up. Yes, you have to be 70 because, well, the alternative's not pretty.
Right. But the reason I mentioned it is, though,
and very often, one of the nice things about having children and grandchildren is that you can do all those things that you're technically too old to do, but when you're doing it with them, you can do that.
Here's a play where, where nobody does anything with anybody and can't talk to each other. And here's a play where there's almost too much imagination, although it was lovely.
Well, here is a play.
But we didn't give it,
here is a play where nothing really happens, and if it does happen, the playwright doesn't know what to do with it. He doesn't develop it.
I disagree with you. Oh. He knows what he's doing. He cares. People who can't
He knew what he was doing. He wouldn't have written this play.
No, the people can't communicate, and it's just boring to watch people who can't communicate.
I should say there's another actress who we adore in here, Blair Brown.
Yes.
But if you're going to see her, know that she has the smallest role and the most uninteresting character.
And Peter Maloney is stuck sort of playing the same character over and over again now since he did that. And it's the same character he played in Outside Mullingar and the Queer
He plays
Land.
the grandfather.
He plays the grandfather, but it's a combination of the blustery. If he's not Irish this time, he's English. But
Yes.
And it's a shame because he's a much better actor
is English. The father is a contractor.
Yeah.
And the son is moving out with his girlfriend at a very inopportune time. Well, there is a younger brother. But again, it doesn't go
we don't
anywhere.
Need to beat a dead
and when
horse.
it does go somewhere, he switches to a different generation.
What would you like to give to it?
I would. That's a loaded question. What would I like to give it? Well, I see there's a title here that it does inspire me.
What would you like to give it?
But I will give it 2 playbills. And that is is well directed, and I did enjoy the cast. No one really stands out, but they're all competent.
I mean, 10 people. That's a lot of people on an off-Broadway stage.
Absolutely.
In a play like this, I would go, 1.75 even, because it was really long, and it didn't go anywhere.
Yes, it was.
So now you have something nice for us, right, Charlie?
I do.
What do you got for us, Charlie?
I have the 2017 Broadway Flea Market.
Yay.
And this year, well, you know what? Why don't we just go right to there? And I was on the scene. This year I decided to see what the best-selling items on each table was.
And what did you find out?
Well, let's take a look.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Whitney. This is the Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS official merch table. We I've been here all day since about, I got here at 8 a.m., I think. And today I would say our best-selling item was probably anything in the Broadway collections department. So either our snow globes or the tote bags or the pillows or the throws. We sold out of the pillows and the throw blankets probably within the first hour and a half, or our hats. The hats always go before noon.
Hi, my name is William. What's our table's name? Cabaret for a Cause. And my best-selling item today was these big blue bags that had Matilda on them for laundry.
My name is John Fredrickson
and Ralph Tansey.
And we're members of NYSTE, New York State Theater Education Association, and we're a bunch of high school theater teachers, middle school theater teachers in New York State. And this year our biggest seller was what?
It was the Book of Mormon. We had souvenir programs, all signed by the original cast, and posters from Book of Mormon, all signed by the original cast.
My name is Raleigh. I'm also working for Cabaret for a Cause, and I think the best thing I sell today was probably like a poster for $1.
Hi, this is Jim Ferris from The Lion King here at the Minskoff Theater on Broadway. Our biggest item that sells every year is Kitty Crack. Yeah, you heard me correctly. It's Kitty Crack. It's chocolate, it's butterscotch, it's crack, and it's fantastic. And why weren't you here getting any?
Hi, my name is Brooklyn, and I think the best thing that I sold today is probably lots of sweets. We sold a ton of sweets.
Hey, my name is Eric Woodall. I'm with Tara Rubin Casting, and we're with the Casting Society of America. We sold a lot of great things today, but our biggest ticket item was a seat that came out of the St. James Theater that went for over $200.
Hi, my name is Zell. I'm also working at the Cabaret for a Cause table. I think my best-selling item was this magnet that I actually made myself. Oh my God, I'm putting outside item. This magnet that I actually made myself. It's my quote that I like. So yeah, woo!
Hi, I'm Nick Sullivan, formerly in the cast of Newsies and Footloose, and what we have here is the Act 3 table. This is all of the shows that have gone, but there's still plenty of wonderful swag available to all. And this man here, Stuart Marlin, is the one that brought this together. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
What was your best-selling item today?
Best-selling item, my gosh.
Opening night the Tiffany bracelet from Hello Dolly.
Hello Dolly opening night Tiffany bracelet. How much did it sell for?
$100.
100?
Yeah.
I sold something for 120, an original Newsies script.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm also here at Cabaret for a Cause, and I think the best-selling item for me was also the laundry bag, but I also sold a bunch of aprons like over there. They were only for $1 at the end because we're just like, got to get this stuff out.
Hi, everybody. My name is June Stern. I'm a member of the Actors Temple. The Actors Temple of Hell's Kitchen is now 100 years old. We have been at these tables for 4 or 5 years. We've sold a lot of things. Everything is popular, especially towards the end when we lower the price.
Hi, my name is Sammy. I'm also with Cabaret for a Cause. My best-selling item was probably the signed programs.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm also with Cabaret for a Cause, and I think my best-selling item was probably a Jersey Boys bag, I think, yeah.
And while it was wonderful that Broadway stars such as Billy Porter participated in this event, ultimately, the success was due to the fans.
I just saw Dear Evan Hansen, child.
Hi, my name is Felicity Fire. I'm Sammy Steinwolf. We were looking at like all the stuff that they were selling because we are Broadway fans. I got such a cool Dear Evan Hansen shirt. And I am a huge fan of Hamilton. I memorized all 2 hours and 45 minutes of the production.
Any more questions?
No, I think that. Oh wait, do you have a favorite Broadway show?
Yes. Hamilton. Dear Evan Hansen. I saw it. I was like, woo! I cried. I literally. Hamilton.
This is Jessie Benaharan.
Dear Evan Hansen.
We've been way too
the best show, and I recommend everyone to see it. We love New York.
We love New York.
Woo! New York rocks. Everyone, subscribe to this TV show.
This year, for the first time, they raised over $1 million. That is like close to 250,000 more than last year, and just exceeds all expectations.
I was there in the very beginning of this when there were not enough people to fill the tables, that were there, and now it spills out into 44th and 45th Streets.
Right,
it's amazing.
It's a big to do.
That's nice. I'm happy to hear that. It's such a wonderful organization. That the money goes. It was originally started at the height of the AIDS crisis, but now it's expanded into women's health and actors'
cancer,
health,
I think.
And, other things, and that kind of money is really wonderful.
It is part of a bunch of fundraisers they do over the year.
You told me you bought something. What did you buy?
I did. I bought a snow globe with the Statue of Liberty on it, with a music box that plays. I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy from the George M. Cohan show,
right? Yeah.
And it has on the bottom the names of the Broadway shows from the 2015 season.
So
and
that
it was
for
$10.
And you bought that for?
I bought that for my daughter Miriam.
Excellent.
She connects them. The mysterious envelope. Well, Leslie, I know you want to know what's in it.
I don't want to know what's in it.
Okay, but it is what I thought was going to happen, a prediction that I made on the show.
And did I do
for
it,
this
whatever
review.
It was? And did I do it?
Well, let's see. We're going to open it. Actually wasn't going to open it now, but since you have brought it up,
I had to know.
I will open it, and I would like you, and you actually surprised me, Leslie, so I would like you to read and then show it to our audience.
It was too easy. It says, Leslie will find a way to link the mayor with Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, I thought it. I did think it. I did think it. Yes, it's not like he thought about it and put it in my pocket. I mean, it's in an envelope that he had.
No, this was.
That's very clever of you. Yeah.
Yes,
no.
I really did think.
Now that you mention it, though.
No way. Yes.
Well, he was very Trumpian, wasn't he? I mean, he talked about, I'm rich, and I'm going to have a son.
Well, actually, he wasn't rich. His wife is rich, but he's going to get all the money.
Yes, but he was going to get the money, right? So, Well,
anyway. I will say there were some Trumpian
tropes. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
But this is so far before trope. I mean,
yes.
I knew
well,
that.
So was Julius Caesar,
But
and somehow they managed to work him into that.
I must say that Mark did give him a flavor of that. He didn't go into the orange face or anything like that, though,
no,
and no red ties or anything.
Right.
So where are we then?
Well,
we're starting the new year, the new Jewish year as well as the new theater year.
Yes, yes.
So,
is there anything you're looking forward to?
Oh, golly, there are several things. I'm looking forward to seeing Frozen, not because I like Frozen, because I'm going to take her for a friend's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to see how she's going to love it, because I know that she will.
Right.
What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to Frozen. I wasn't overly enamored of the movie, but I am curious. But I'm really looking forward to be honest, My Fair Lady. My Fair Lady this is the longest period we have ever gone
without
between productions of My Fair Lady, in my opinion, is the greatest musical ever written.
And it will star this time?
Well, we don't know that yet. At least if it's been announced, I
haven't heard it. Are you looking forward to Bernadette Peters going into Hello, Dolly?
After you follow Bette Midler, it's going to be.
You have to go. You have to go to Bette Midler. You have to go to Bernadette Peters, because it used to be Ethel Merman, Mary Martin. Now it's what's her face and Bernadette Peters.
I would never have thought to compare the two.
But you know why I'm saying that? I mean, you had to get someone of that level. Is all I'm saying.
Yes, you certainly have
but
to.
I have to say that I'm hoping that this will start another set of star.
It's a wonderful production. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't have Donna Murphy, but I guess Bernadette Peters certainly is a bigger name.
I'm sorry too. I love Donna Murphy. She didn't sell tickets, and that's all they care about.
No,
ultimately
that is what matters.
She had 2 weeks to prove herself, and they lost money, and that's what it's all about.
That's a shame, but it is a wonderful, wonderful production.
It's an old-fashioned production.
I am hoping they will let us back to see Bernadette Peters.
I don't think they will.
In it, probably
I
not.
would buy
But
a
you never
ticket,
know.
I
I got
don't
to see. Well, we went back to Annie Get Your Gun with Reba McEntire.
I didn't go.
Oh, well, I did.
I didn't go.
And I have to say, in that case, the successor was better than the original,
so
who
I heard.
just
I never
happened
got
to
see
be
it.
Bernadette Peters.
Yeah.
But
right. Well, but she was wrong for that role. Let's face it, that was not her role.
And yet she won a Tony for it.
I loved her in Gypsy, though. I loved Bernadette Peters
I did
in Gypsy.
not.
I know. Nobody did. I loved her.
I loved her acting, but the second she started singing,
mother was perfect. I thought her mother was
not at
perfect.
all. Not at
Real
all.
Stage mother. What else are we looking forward to, then?
Oh, there are a lot of revivals. In addition to My Fair Lady, M. Butterfly.
Yeah.
David Henry Wong. I'm looking forward to that. I saw the original. It's a good, strong play, and
it hasn't been revived in a very long time. Jeremy Irons.
Torch Song. Formerly Torch Song Trilogy.
Right.
Harvey Firestein. This play that put Harvey Firestein on the map.
Right.
He'd be an interesting dolly.
Yeah.
Although I'd rather see him as Vera in Maine.
Oh dear,
with
that's
Charles
my part.
Bush playing the title role.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. The Band's Visit, which you both enjoyed,
yes,
off Broadway.
We did.
That's coming to
and
Broadway.
I'm looking forward to that.
And Children of a Lesser God, a play that I loved the first time I saw it.
It's going to be interesting to see that again. But again, these are a lot of
It's going to be easy to
revivals.
see how these plays have aged, because we saw them originally in a different time.
We did.
And, will they withstand the test of time? So I'm very curious to see that.
It's interesting because there's a new show called Meteor Shower, written by Steve Martin, but we're also going to get...
Yes, with Schumer, Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer, yeah, like that, Amy Schumer.
And the thing that I'm looking forward to more about that show, Laura Benatti.
Well, there you go. Latin History for Morons, the play that we didn't care for that much downtown, but I know what he does. He works on them and works on them, so it may be a totally different show, hopefully. But
I hope so.
Once on This Island is being revived.
Right, by the those were the people who gave us Ragtime.
And the big one.
And Seussical.
And besides Frozen, the big one, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I definitely want to see it, but I've read the script and I have very mixed feelings.
And Denzel Washington in The Iceman Cometh.
Ooh, now that.
Well, you know, he pulled off Macbeth. He pulled off Julius Caesar. He pulled off Fences. He pulled off Raisin in the Sun. He's a dynamo.
I would like to see it.
Well, and I give him credit because he can make millions and billions of dollars doing movies, and he comes back to the theater. I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
He was a spear carrier out of the public, you know, so I mean.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was one of those guys.
All right.
Yeah.
And Carousel is coming back.
Carousel's coming back. So we got a lot.
There's a lot. I'm hoping that
and
between all these.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, that brings out my inner Squidward. That's all I can say about SpongeBob. I will be seeing it.
I've never watched SpongeBob ever.
Well, you didn't have small children
during the SpongeBob
era.
That's right. I watched other shows.
You know, I mean, there are a lot of shows on Nickelodeon that I enjoyed. SpongeBob was more like it had its moments, but I felt more like I was tolerating it.
So we're ready now.
Yes. So there's a lot. So these are our original shows on Broadway this year: SpongeBob
and Frozen
and Harry Potter.
And Harry Potter, right?
Okay.
Those are the ones.
And Frozen.
Okay.
But I'll tell you something that I have that you don't have to look forward to.
Yes.
And that is some cast albums of some shows that we enjoyed last year.
Oh, okay.
One of the shows that you and I enjoyed immensely was In Transit, and that take basically the lives of New Yorkers, and the subway brings them all together.
Now that show got a short run, and I'm sorry for that because it deserved better.
It did.
I loved it when I saw it off Broadway. It was good on Broadway, but it was so special off Broadway because it was just really, you know, little small.
Unfortunately, I did not get to see it off Broadway. I did see it all on Broadway. I liked it very much. It was a circle in the square. But the unique thing about this show was the whole thing was done a cappella, and you barely noticed that. And the album, of course, is similar.
And the lyricist wrote Frozen with her husband.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Right, there you go.
So I suspect the lyricist will be enjoying a better run. But it's just this wonderful, wonderful score that I enjoyed immensely, and I highly recommend the album. And that is our show for this evening. And when you go to the theater, look for Leslie and me, us too.
On the aisle.
Lashana Tova.
Deep beneath the city with 1,000 other strangers.